free, and enjoy more of what the world has to offer in this action one, because this is where most human beings screw the pooch.
So a little one-person trampoline, very
I screen shared it. Like, there's no excuse. Like, phone numbers are just out there. You just got to pick up the phone, smile, and dial. So. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk to Tanner Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best entrepreneur you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. And speaking on that topic of love today, this morning, we're talking about self-love. Oh, everyone might be thinking, oh, wow, Tanner, you're drinking too much of the hippie Kool-Aid, yada, yada. And that's how I felt for a really long time about topics like this, about self-love and this and that. And then kind of trying to open up a little bit more. And then, so have you ever been in a position to where you heard something initially and it's like, yeah, that's cool. I think that's great. I know that it's important, but it didn't really resonate with you. And then you went on, you learned some different things, and you were studying different things. And then it came full circle, and then you rediscovered a topic or an idea and this and that. And then it resonated with intensity, and you're like, oh, wow, that is really important. I need this in my life. That's going to help me feel better. And that's it. That's the Kool-Aid. I've been running into this with myself a lot lately in personal developments. So diving into all of these personal development topics, how to make myself better, and then hearing the basics from whether it's my parents, my siblings, my friends, just coworkers, you hear a lot of the basics so often, and then you take them and you acknowledge that they're important, but they don't really resonate with you. And then you go on and you're diving into it, you gain some interest. Because whenever you're interested in something, usually your ability to go deeper and the depth is really good for learning. So learning things we're interested in is always a good thing, that like we talk about here on the show. So getting more interested in personal development. And then I'm rehearing a lot of the basics, and I can't get off of my mind how much self-compassion, self-love, and like meditation has done for my life. From like, we're doing great work, and I love the one-page plan, and I think this is the best anchoring system I've developed in my own experience, and we're really changing lives, and I'm proud of that. But I can't help but get my mind blown from, like, when I truly bring self-compassion and self-love to myself, I just don't suffer that much. I feel joy, immense amounts of joy, very, very consistently. And I will argue that that is the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal, for me anyway, I can't speak for other people, only from personal experience, is not that I want the super fast cars or the big houses or just big bank account and all that stuff. I do want these things, but not like, what do I want them to do for me? I've been journaling a lot lately, and it's like, what I really want is I just want to enjoy myself, like, as much as possible. I'm just not alive that long. And I know a lot of this sounds like very deep, and we're getting deep, like right at 7:00 in the morning. Good morning to everyone. But I wanted to give this little preface because it's been hitting me very hard. And I hope this message can be really helpful for you and your own endeavors and your own journey. So without further ado, I'm going to go over 5 reasons why self-love is so important, and then give a few bonus pronos at the end, and just talk a little bit more about self-love. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into... I'm going to go ahead and put our 5 points in the topic at the very end. I'm going to put our 5 points in, but for now, let's go ahead and kind of just go banner by banner. So number one reason why self-love is crucial to living a happier and more joyful life is increased compassion. Increase compassion for yourself. So next time you are struggling, next time you are dealing with something, I want you to try and increase the compassion for yourself. Increasing the compassion for yourself, loving yourself and forgiving yourself, whether it's religious texts talking about acceptance of what is, accepting what is the reality of today, and then giving yourself a break because we are just a culmination of everything we've experienced so far. So giving ourselves a break. Usually 90% of my suffering, probably more like 99%, and I'm willing to bet it's over 90% for you too. Our suffering comes from what we perceive, perceptual suffering. And a great way to get rid of perceptual suffering. So what would be an example? I got hit with a bigger tax bill than I thought I was going to have to pay. And now this is eating me alive because I value wealth creation. I value improvement. And I believe that this is holding me back from what I'm able to go and get. So, bam, I'm getting hit with a whole lot of pain, and I'm not having a lot of compassion for myself when I just would really focus on, if I increase my compassion and I realized this tax bill, these taxes pay for schools, these taxes pay for hospitals. The hospitals are like, a lot of them are private organizations. That's a whole different thing. But infrastructure, police, firefighters, all of these things that we know that we need in our communities, and we know that we need to continue to develop a better and greater country. So, and you can see how powerful it's like, okay, this is my giving to, and I don't donate that much money. I really don't. I donate a small percentage of what I make to Red Cross in Ukraine, and then also one other thing that's local in my community. But that's really it. It's not like some egregious amount of money that I'm donating. I'll be blatantly honest. But I do TIF around 10% of what I make. So it's better than nothing. Still, taxes can be my way of giving back, and then me able to increase the compassion for myself. It's like, okay, I'm in a position to where I can live where I'm living, gaining what it is that I'm gaining, and living the life that I truly want to live because I have these taxes to be able to pay. We have a machine that actually works and supports us in what, to my understanding, is the best in the world. So having that increased compassion for when problems come up, or in a lot of times body image issues, or just, I am not enough. I suck at this. I'm terrible at that. I'm no good. I write everything off. And just increasing compassion for myself and increasing self-love can be a huge benefit and a huge ally to just enjoying life more, our ultimate goal. So I'm going to go on. That's increased compassion. Let's go on to point number 2. And this is going to take me a second because I don't have these banners individually posted out. So I apologize for that, for being a little slow this morning. Number 2, improves mental health. Self-love improves mental health. A lot of the points that we were just talking about, how we will literally beat the crap out of ourselves constantly. We see another version of ourselves laying on the ground, and we're just literally kicking them right in the gut. And that can be, as you can see, a huge problem to our mental health, how we perceive ourselves, things like confidence. And it can compile into, when we don't have the right level of confidence, it's so much harder to go out and take action, which is, I would argue, one of the the most fundamental piece in the universe of creating a result. If you do not take an action, you will not get a result. So we need to be able to take more action. And you see all these $10,000 coaching packages and courses, personal development videos. Take action now. And one of the best ways to do that is to have good mental health and taking care of ourselves in the sense of increasing compassion and improving our mental health. By having more self-love, we can improve our mental health. I have seen that dramatically for myself, so I wanted to share that point. Okay, number 3. number 3 was something we kind of hinted at in number 1. Copy, banners. Increase self-acceptance. Increasing self-acceptance can be improving our mental health and increasing our compassion. You can see how I always like to try and have these add on to each other. So increasing self-acceptance to what is, and going back to that point of perceptual suffering, we usually suffer within our minds, and that hurts our mental health. And then that we suffer to the point to where we beat ourselves up to the point we can't have that compassion and that self-love. And then that comes back to, if we can increase our self-acceptance of what is really going on, like what is really going on with, say, that tax bill that's coming up, or you feel like you're not financially, you're not good enough, or you feel like your job's not good enough. Really ask yourself, what is going on? I am putting myself in a position to help other people. I'm putting myself in a position to grow my skills and abilities towards what it is that I'm truly trying to do with my life. I'm trying to my best ability figure out what it is I want to do, how I want to do it, how I want to help people, when I want to, where I want to. There's a lot of moving parts, and there's a lot of variables, and there's a lot of things that we can't really control. There will be something that we can't control, and then we'll beat the crap out of ourselves because we can't control it. How does that make any sense? Humans are, the only reason that makes sense is because humans are insane. We're all a little bit crazy. When it comes to beating yourself over the same topic over and over and over again, it's because we have something is absent. And I would believe it's self-love. And we might have to work through some stuff. We might have to meditate a few extra times. We might have to be with certain feelings to able to raise that self-awareness, to gain that self-acceptance that feeds into mental health and increasing compassion for ourselves. Again, as the beast feeds itself, self-acceptance to what is. So maybe we can try to just today, we can do a better job of accepting what is in front of us, accepting the people that they're just a culmination of their experiences and what they believe is right. Most intention is good. Most intention is good. So if we can have more self-acceptance to this positive intent, I think it's going to make it a whole hell of a lot easier to have more self-love for ourselves. Point number 3. Going on to point number 4. Banners. This would be sorry about that. I reached my banner limit, so I had to delete some. Encourages healthy relationships. Encourages healthy relationships. Point number 4 for self-love is encourages healthy relationships. And one of the bonus steps that I put in the description is, if you cannot love yourself, no one else truly can. If you cannot love yourself, no one else truly can. This can be a dangerous and slippery slope. You can think of the person, every time you give them a damn compliment, they're like, yeah, but that wasn't good enough. Oh, but this wasn't right. Oh, yeah, that's great. I like the compliment, but I'm going to bury myself down. And this can be, in a lot of cases, I understand where, or to my perception, I believe that people are just trying to like be humble. And that's cool. And I get that. But you can't do that all the time, because it shuts out other abilities, people to be interested in you and to want to promote you, and who wants to give praise to someone who always just shuts it down with negativity and stuff. And then they stop giving it to you. And then now it's even harder for you. And then now it's easier, since you're not getting the validation, it's easier for you to just push yourself down. So be very careful with that. Every time someone gives you a compliment, you don't have to just shoot it into the ground. And I've done this, I do this, and it makes it harder to love myself and to have more compassion to the degree that I'm just getting more frustrated because things aren't good enough. I'm not where I want to be yet. So now I feel like crap. Or this isn't right here. This isn't there. This isn't far enough. I don't make enough money. All of this stuff in the gap that we were talking about earlier this week, living in the gap versus living in the gain. So if you want healthier relationships, bringing self-love to yourself when people even say nice things about you or when something's just getting said in general, if you can bring this to relationships, you can see them blossom and do much better as you're acknowledging that, yeah, I have come a long way and this feels pretty good. This is what I want to do. And I'm up on the rise, on the rise. So encouraging healthy relationships can come from promoting self-love, because if you don't love yourself, no one else really can. Okay, let's go ahead and create another banner. I need to delete these. We're on to our last point, folks. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in with us this morning. And this one is my personal favorite because I've seen the most with this. And point number 5 takes us to take better care of yourself. Self-love allows us to take better care of ourselves, because then we start to see how valuable life really is. We start to see how important it is. The decisions that we make are the bricks that we lay for the foundation and the path of life. And we know that if we have self-love, then we're going to be more interested in how this path develops, how the path looks, how we feel along the way because that's the whole point, right? Me and my girlfriend were laughing the other day because in Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, you ask an eagle, what time is it? And they say, it is right now. The time is right now. And there's no better feeling than being right here in the present moment. And I understand at 7 o'clock in the morning, some of this stuff can sound a little woo-woo, but I refuse to believe anything else. If I'm living right here and I'm feeling good, I'm loving myself, and I'm taking care of myself, it is so much easier to not beat myself up. My suffering truly comes from me beating the crap out of myself on things that I'm not doing good enough here. I'm not doing good enough there. I'm not doing good enough there. And if I truly want to take care of myself, self-love needs to be part of the plan. So that is point number 5. We're going to go ahead and do a quick wrap around an overview of these 5 points to help. So point number 1, increase compassion for yourself, increase compassion, increase self-love for yourself. Number 2, improve your mental health through self-love. By loving ourselves, we can improve our mental clarity from the compassion that we give ourselves. Increasing self-acceptance, accepting what things are, like what is here right now, what is really going on, and being very truthful with ourselves. And a lot of times the truth, I find it really peaceful because it shows that so many things are working together and I have such a good life as it really is. Encourage healthy relationships through self-love. And lastly, take better care of yourself. If you take good care of yourself, self-love tends to come a lot easier because you feel good. You look in the mirror and you're like, damn, I'm looking better. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling light. Being healthy and enjoying more out of life is what I truly want. It's these luxuries and indulgences along the way that can add and supplement to my life as I can give to more people. I can experience more things. That's great. But truly, at the end of the day, what I really want is self-love. And this is the truth about self-love, I believe. This was episode 238, my friends. And maybe in the comments we can put down what's a good challenge for today? What is a good challenge for today? My challenge is I want you to think of one thing that you love about yourself. Think of one thing you love about yourself. It can be anything. I love about myself the fact I'm willing to learn about this stuff now versus in the past I was like, oh, self-love's lame. Oh, self-love, I'm not doing that. Oh, it's the hoopla, yada, yada. Love is the most powerful drug on the planet. Lame, lame, lame. And I'd imagine there's a lot of guys who are my age, or just a lot of people in general, who aren't willing to dive into this, because you're going to start figuring some stuff out. And it's going to be a little painful at first. You're going to have to face some truths, and you're going to have to make some changes, because you're going to realize, wow, I really don't want to put poison in my body. I want to feel better more often. And getting off of that stuff can it can be uncomfortable. It will be uncomfortable, but I would argue that's what we want, is the uncomfortable to get to the comfortable, one of those paradoxes we like to talk about. But today's challenge, think of one thing you love about yourself. Give yourself some self-love. Give yourself a compliment, something that you take for what it is, and give it a good thank you. Thanks for tuning into this morning show, Self-Love, episode 238. If you are looking for, let me look down at my banners real quick. If you're looking for a challenge, if you're looking to invest in yourself, I have a 6-week masterclass where you meet with me one-on-one for over a 6-week period to create your one-page life plan. This is when we really get down your values, your purpose, your vision, the relationships you want in your life. How are you going to give back in your life, all on one condensed page, to help with clarity on what it is that you really want and how you can communicate who you are with other people. It's a phenomenal plan. We're having a lot of success with it. So if you're looking to invest in yourself, this is the primary product that I offer with people, is a 6-week challenge. I want you to get this stuff down, and then I want you to be able to run off to the races and go help other people with it too, because we're big believers in the ripple effect here. So good morning, everyone. I hope you have an incredible day. Take today's challenge on with stride. Think of one thing you love about yourself. And I'll see you all again tomorrow morning, bright and early, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, with another episode of the Talk to Tanner Morning Show. Thanks, everyone. Have an incredible day, and I'll see you at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Cheers, friends. I'm out. Self-love.